Hello everyone and welcome back to My Opinion. And in this video, I'll be previewing the second test match of the series between England and India. This match will be taking place at Edgbaston. Let's get into this preview. Starting off with the venue. It's another high-scoring venue, but there's more assistance for the spinners, especially in the last 2 days compared to what there was in the previous venue. And now going on to India's 11, or what I think it should be. They haven't announced their 11, unlike England have done. England have gone with the same team. But in the latter part of my previous video, I had suggested an 11, and I'll be reading that same one out shortly, where I thought Bumrah should be rested for the second test and manage his workload, and I think that will happen. And there's another call where there have been two players who have been in the mix who played in the first test match. I've gone with one of them and I'll justify that selection. So I've gone with KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Karun Nair, Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant 5, Nitish Kumar Reddy 6, Ravindra Jadeja number 7, Kuldeep Yadav 8, Arshdeep Singh 9, Mohammad Siraj 10, and Akash Deep at number 11. And starting off on that call, the reason why I have gone with Karun Nair ahead of Sai Sudarshan is because one of them has to sit out to accommodate Nitish Kumar Reddy. People said Nitish Kumar Reddy will play ahead of Shardul Thakur. I agree with that, but I think he should bat in the top 6 and act as a fourth seamer, because without Bumrah, if you've got three seamers at this venue, if one of them goes runs, Siraj especially is not someone who's going to contain the runs, then you can find yourself in a problem, which is why I've gone with the fourth seamer being Nitish Kumar Reddy, who could supplement the overs of Shardul Thakur with both. And in order to accommodate him, you've got two fantastic players, one of those sitting out. And if you're comparing which one should be left out, I've gone with Karun Nair to play for now because he's scored a lot of runs in domestic cricket. He scored a 204 in the first test match versus the England Lions. But this has been discussed on Ashwin's channel, where we've seen that Sai Sudarshan, the way he's been dismissed, he's been strangled down the leg side, has been a ploy that England have targeted. I don't think Karun Nair has an obvious weakness as of now. So because of that, I've gone with him to play ahead of Sai Sudarshan. It's a harsh decision, yes, whoever would be dropped, but for the team balance, it's a decision that has to be made. And I've gone with Akash Deep ahead of Prasidh Krishna because some people were still including him in their 11s, but I feel Akash Deep bowls further and he can be a containing bowler. If you've got Mohammad Siraj, you won't contain the runs, and you've got Prasidh Krishna, who also won't contain the runs. You saw what happened in the previous test match, it could happen again. And someone like a Mohammad Siraj, where I feel, and it's been discussed on Ashwin's channel as well, where for him to try and contain the runs, according to me, skill has not been the issue for Siraj, it's been temperament, and I feel the mental conditioning has been something that should have been worked on because he's been playing international cricket for a long while now. And they haven't been working on technical flaws for players, so I don't think they'll work on this, but I feel the problem with Siraj is not skill, it is temperament. And Arshdeep Singh correctly in place of Bumrah, I think he'll do very well. And Kuldeep Yadav ahead of Washington Sundar, because some people are saying maybe Washington. The reason why I'm saying Kuldeep is because Washington Sundar is a defensive bowler. We've seen whoever scores a boundary, they'll spread the field. Kuldeep is also something. Kuldeep can play both roles, offensive and defensive, but he's also someone who prefers not to have a lot of fielders on the boundary. Jadeja defensive bowler, Washington defensive bowler. If they do what they did in the previous match, the defensive tactics, then wicket taking can become a problem, which is why Kuldeep Yadav has an offensive gear, and I've gone with him. The top 7 should remain as it is. I feel this is the combination that India should go. They should consider the defensive tactics to not be there, and catching will take care of itself. I think they will be better in this match. And now for the England 11, where, as I had said in the previous video, I don't think they would change. I didn't think they'd change it. They haven't done, and they couldn't have done, because Ollie Pope scored a century. Can you bring in Jacob Bell? No. I think Jamie Ovison in tests is a stretch to include him in the squad. And Sam Cook, Brighton cast didn't bowl that badly in the previous match. And Jofra Archer is in the squad, but I'm not surprised they haven't included him, because I think in the county match that he played, he bowled 15 overs in the first innings. I've talked about workload, where if you bowl a quarter of the overall quota, That means, let's say 20 out of 80, you had a big workload. You saw Bumrah bowl 25 out of 100. Now, pretend if Jofra Archer bowls a fifth on a surface that would be good for batting until the last 2 days, then if he bowls 20 out of 100, will he last? You don't know. Which is why I'm not surprised he hasn't played. And if he were to be fit, I would have played him ahead of Bryden Cast rather than Josh Tongue, because I feel Josh Tongue's a better bowler than Bryden Cast, although he went for runs. So they haven't given themselves an option there. And I would have played, they're not in the squad, but I would have played one of Tom Hartley or Liam Dawson ahead of Shoaib Bashir. I feel they're better batsmen and bowlers than him. But they haven't gone with that, meaning that they didn't have an option to change the squad. And now we're going to compare the 11s, where if you're looking at the top fours, KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Karun Nair, Shubman Gill for India, compared with Zach Crowley, Ben Duckett, Ollie Pope and Joe Root for England. Ben Duckett has been fantastic for a while. Zach Crowley played very well in the second innings of the previous match. Ability-wise, I'd always give that edge to the Indian opener, but Ben Duckett has been very good. Karun Nair versus Ollie Pope, I feel Karun Nair is more reliable. Shubman Gill versus Joe Root would take that. Shubman Gill scored a century in the first inning. So some could say it would be fairly equal. I still feel based on reliability, India have got the edge. But with how well Ben Duckett and Joe Root, you can put your money on them. And you've got 3 for India who are, I think you can put your money on all 4. If comparing who's going to win that battle as per position, I feel India can still take the edge for 3 there. So I feel India got a slight edge, but there isn't as much of a difference because of how well Ben Duckett's playing. And now the middle order, Rishabh Pant, Nitish Kumar, Ravindra Jadeja compared with Harry Brook, Ben Stokes and Jamie Smith. Rishabh Pant, we've seen how well he's been doing. Harry Brook, he's going to be aggressive, but I think on substances where while it is good to bat on, I think he'll do well. Ben Stokes, I'd said in the preview as well, where he played 2 impactful knocks in the series, but I don't know when he's going to play those. Nitish Kumar has played well in the against England Lions as well. Jadeja, we know how well he has been done with the bat in the last few years in Test, and Jamie Smith played very well in the previous match. Not too much of an edge there. And now the bowling, where because Jofra Archer isn't playing for England, England have got a decent attack, but it's not anything that you're going to feel scared about. For India, Arshdeep Singh, very good. Mohammad Suraj is experienced. Akashdeep, I thought, bowled well in Australia, but the spin edge on the last 2 days, Jadeja and Kuldeep Yadav far supersedes what England have got. So it may be surprising to some, but I've gone with India to win this match. It'll be 1-1 going into the 3rd test, but let's see what's in store. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to everyone. That is my opinion. What's yours?